how to get started, right? How I started was this. When I was 27 years old, I wanted to buy that one property, okay? And we looked at everything. We looked at condos to single family homes to duplex, triplex, and things like that. We actually analyzed 300 properties on paper, MLS, going through agents, stuff like that.
What exactly does analyzing a property mean? Because I know I've said in the past, I always recommend analyzing at least 100 deals before like really committing to one. But do you mind sharing like what's your version of analysis?
Analysis is basically we walked through 100 units, 100 single family homes or duplexes, triplexes. I walked in it. But the thing is I had to go from here to here. And that's what I had to learn, right?
What is up, YouTube? We've got more Casey Wong on Matt McKeever's YouTube channel. In today's video, Casey's going to break down for us his opinion and his perspective on breaking into the real estate game, as well as how to level up and get into the larger multifamily deals that he does. And he's going to share with us a bit of his background as well. And we've got a lot more in today's video. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and let's dive into the video with Casey Wong.
Does that make sense? I'd rather be a chicken head than a dragon tail. I'd rather be self-employed, have control, be head of me, and have that control, than be part of these firms, okay, than being a dragon tail. Because yeah, you're associated with these big firms, but you have no control.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
How to get started, right?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't have no work, no money, things like that, okay. Now, how I started was this. When I was 27 years old, I wanted to buy that one property, okay. And we looked at everything. We looked at condos to single family homes to duplex, triplex, and things like that. So we analyzed that, okay. You may want to run through the process and see the numbers and see what is viable for you. Management of these individual units to see if you can do it, if you're capable of doing it. If you're not capable of doing it, then you can outsource that, right? But analyzing is analyzing. You have to be able to go through that process, right? So we analyzed that. We actually analyzed 300 properties on paper, MLS, going through agents, stuff like that.
So could you break down for the audience, what exactly does analyzing a property mean? Because I know I've said in the past, I always recommend analyzing at least 100 deals before like really committing to one. But do you mind sharing like what's your version of analysis?
Analysis is basically income. So this is actually entails like condos to single family homes, okay? Your 2/3 plexes, okay?
Yeah.
So we're analyzing it basically on income and expenses, okay? Very, very simple. See if we can actually cash flow. Obviously this is a negative. This is a negative. In most like GTA areas, this is 2003. When I started, it was 2003 is when I bought my first one. So I actually started analyzing in 2002, okay? So after I graduated in 1999, it took us that long. I'm not a go-getter. I'm not like my wife is. She's, takes a look at the analysis. She's the one that coordinates with the real estate agent. But you can actually do this fairly quickly now because with a Weibo limo tour, like these guys are hustlers, right? They know the market. So they've done all this heavy lifting for you. So they've shed off 2-3 years for you, okay? They know the areas, the pockets, what will cash flow and what won't, right? At that time, I looked through 300, so on paper. So you're analyzing income minus expenses to see if you can cash flow positive.
And so one common complaint I get from a lot of the audience members is they're like, I don't know how to do this. That condo listing doesn't show income or expenses. So any tips or suggestions for people?
So what you're gonna look at is like your ads for rentals. Like we go through Kijiji, it could be, I don't know, Facebook Marketplace or things like that. Like you're finding out what this costs for a condo, and then you're going to take a look at the income, the rental income in that location. So it's going to be specific, okay? So I had some comments that, hey, like I'm buying that 5.2, it's actually 5.275 million on Arlington Street in St. Catharines, right? So this is actually 2019 now. So we bought the 40-plex, and that was for 5.275 million. Now, that's about 130,000 per unit, right? Approximately per unit. you are only going to analyze location with the location, okay? There was one comment that says, oh, I'm doing Ohio at 40K.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, dude, what? You're not even in the same country. You can't analyze, okay, I'm gonna analyze like Hong Kong with Ireland, right? It's completely different. London is completely different from Toronto, okay? Toronto is completely different from St. Catharines. So you have to take a look at location specific. So just because you're doing here in St. Catharines, right? And you're doing 40,000, okay, in Ohio. I don't even know Ohio. Like, I know where Ohio is, don't get me wrong. I know where Ohio is, right? But 40K, 40,000, here's the, let's say, 50-kilometer radius of his property at 40K, right? 40,000, 40K. Here's a 50-kilometer radius, okay? I buy property here, that closed at 32. This property closed at 38. This one closed at 58. How do I know if this 40,000 is good or not? He cannot compare my 130 with his 40. Impossible. You don't do it that way. Now, when this going back to this person who's doing 300, like if you're looking at 300 properties, you're going to look at income expenses, break it down, very monotonous. It's going to be, hey, how much can I rent it for? What's my expenses? What's the condo fees? So on and so forth.
And so one thing I find that a lot of people struggle with is a lack of creativity when trying to do this analysis. So for example, if that condo listing doesn't have the...
It's always an exciting day on the Weibo Limo Tour. We have over 40 investors on the Limo Tour, and we're going to be seeing over $10 million worth of property off market for about $350. Opportunity for you guys to purchase, and the ARV is around $600,000, so there's a lot of room here, and you kind of get a blank slate here to get in here and do what you want. We're at property number 3. It's $819,000. Let's update and let's get into it. Woo! What's up, guys? Jeff Weibo here, and we are on the Weibo Limo today. We have over 40 investors on the Limo Tour, and we're going to be seeing over $10 million worth of property. $10,758,383,000.69 to be exact. Let's go check it out. Let's go.
All right, here's the 411, folks. Say some gangster is dissing your fly girl. You just give
And
her
I'm with
a-
my fly girl, we feel amazing. And we getting high, girl, we steady blazing.
Oh, it's always an exciting day on the Weibo Limo Tour, and we're off to our first one. It's going to be a flip. The people can't finish the flip. They want us to take it over. There's still room for money to be made on this deal, so let's go check it out.
And I'm with my fly girl, we feel amazing. And we getting high, girl, we steady blazing. And I don't know why or how we gon' make it, but let's get it now, girl, I'm tired of waiting.
So, why should you come on a limo tour? Today's limo tour, it's all off-market properties, so they're not on the multiple listing service. So it's a little unique. This is why my buyers came out to view these properties. If you're a new investor, you definitely want to be showing up to this because, as you can kind of hear, everybody's networking right now, trading their secrets, asking about what properties they have and what's going on with renovations and tenants, and that's a really great networking day. And if you're an experienced investor, I got some really good deals for you guys on this tour that I put together. So if you guys are interested, you know where to find me, at Jeff Weibo on Instagram. I post there every single day, so get over there and follow the account. Text me, Jeff, when's the next limo tour? And tell me, maybe this one's in London, Ontario. Maybe you want me to come to your city. I'll come to your city and do a limo tour.
And so one thing I find that a lot of people struggle with is a lack of creativity when trying to do this analysis. So for example, if that condo listing doesn't have the rent that it could receive, go look at other rentable properties in that condo building, right? And use that as a comparison. Same with if like this condo unit that you're looking at trying to analyze doesn't have the maintenance fees, go look at all the other listings in that building. Probably one of them does, and we can kind of like take that, right? And same with like for student rental properties in London. Again, oftentimes those listings won't have all the information necessary, but like one listing will tell you the gas, one listing will tell you the hydro, and like you can kind of Frankenstein the numbers together. And it may not be perfectly accurate, but it's better than just wild guesses.
So yeah, exactly. Like you're going to be analyzing. You're not going to get all the information everywhere. So one listing could have something about, say, hydro. Another one will be gas. Some will say insurance costs, expenses, things like that. So you're going to put them all together, okay? But Now you get a true picture of what you're analyzing.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a condo, single-family homes, 2 or 3-plex small multiplexes. Listen, if you can get more units, the better it is. You spread out that risk. 1 unit in this area, hey, there's nothing wrong. Like, I'd rather people get into it than not get into it. But your condos and single-family homes, it's easy to get in and it's easy to get out. Your exit strategy is going to be easy. Okay, getting in is going to be easy. Okay,
Yeah.
my 40-unit building, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to, sell it to another investor. But I'd never want to sell these, right? These have great cash flow potential, or after stabilizing, they are great cash flowing buildings, assets that you want to keep forever. Okay, so get as many units as you can. That's something vital to get into this game. I know people hold like the 10, 20, 30 single family homes. I'd rather them stay in their little pockets. Like, I don't mind them staying there, because like I know some of these guys are, if they hit this multifamily, they go like gangbusters. It'll go. It's crazy what they can do, because I'm actually very slow at what I do, because these guys have the experience. I'm sure that these guys will do a lot better than that I'm doing, and a lot better probably.
So just to build upon that, Casey, because it's advice that my audience has heard from other investors as well, that lend towards more units. And so I think then sometimes people get stuck in analysis paralysis, where they're like, oh, should I wait until I can afford that 10-plex, or should I go buy that duplex today?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I say get the 10-plex if you can. Now, raising the money is a different story. Do you sell? Because I had to sell my 10-plex to get my 65. I had to put more money into it, and I sold it fairly quickly, not at the highest price. My suggestion is that if you have those 10 units, 10 building or single-family homes, sell it. Okay. Sometimes you have to cash out. Refinancing, you may not be able to get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the income is not going to be strong enough, especially here in Toronto or the GTA area. You're not going to be able to get that that income or that refinance amount large enough to buy like a 40-unit building. Okay. Or partner up with people. Okay.
Yeah.
You're for Matt, like, he's in social media and all that, so he's getting people to partner up with him. But yeah, it's a great source of income or partnerships is, once you partner up, get the larger units. Okay. But seriously, like, if you don't want to, that's fine. I don't want the competition. that's fine. Now, what I did was that there's 100 properties. Now let's delve just a little bit more. So we walked through 100 units, 100 single-family homes or duplexes, triplexes. I walked in it, analyzing and make sure. My first property, the first triplex, was exactly the same as my 100th. Numbers wise and layouts, and very, very similar. But the thing is that I had to go from here to here. And that's what I had to learn, right? Does it make sense, right? From the first to the 100th, right? I go, you know what? It took about almost a year. So this property was over at 896 Dundas. So I probably gave you wrong on the other videos. Dundas Street, Dundas with an N. Dundas Street East. That's Old Chinatown. Don't look it up. I don't own it anymore. Once some family's gonna start knocking on people's doors, some family's gonna say, "Yo, dude, what are you doing?" So 896 Dundas Street East. That was actually Old Chinatown, and it's very close to Regent Park. Okay. So across from the DVP, there's the Regent Park. Regent Park. So Regent Park is a rough neighborhood. They're revamping it now, and there's a lot of growth around here. So this is a triplex, and I bought that for $197,500. So triplex. I know all these figures. I don't know why. So $197,500. Put about $27,000 in reno. 27, like literally. New furnace, new ductwork, renovated all 3 units. It wasn't even great reno, right? But for $27,000, that was probably the last one under like $200,000. But yeah, that's what I bought it for. And rents were $24.25. I don't know why I remember these things, but rent. This is getting messy. I'll have to turn the page. So it's $24.55 per month. That was in 2003. Okay. This is a jumbled mess now.
So before we move on, Casey, let's just talk through, what are you doing during these walkthroughs, those 100 walkthroughs?
Yeah.
Like, are you keeping a list? Are you making notes? Like, what's that look like?
You're making notes. So each one we're writing down like, oh, is it a legal duplex, legal triplex, with single family, things like that, and then you categorize it. Okay, Jed did all that, and she goes, okay, well, this looks like my first property looked like the 100th, and you're categorizing it. You're taking a look at their expenses, and exactly what Matt was saying, that you're going. It's almost like, hey, match this with this. Gas is about the same as this. Okay, you know what? Gas expenses about in the winter months probably like $400 or $500. Okay, electrical bill is probably like $150 to $200. So you're putting that all together, and then you're getting almost like an analysis. Right? Now you can be presenting it to the people that have the money, right? Like you got to be cognizant of what you're doing, right?
Yeah, and so I just want to build upon that because I think it's really easy for people to do fast and dirty analysis and never record it or really track it. But if you don't have any experience or money, I think it's really important that you like build out that spreadsheet that shows like you really did look at 300 properties, you really did walk through 100, just to show you're putting in the effort, the dedication, the consistency.
Yes.
So yeah, that's just something I wanted to really hit on before we flip the page.
Yeah, so yeah, let's turn this page. It's getting really messy. But let's talk about sort of the down payment. Okay, so this is going to be your first property, right? So weird writing. We're so used to typing, right?
Yeah.
Your down payment.
Thanks again to Casey for taking the time to sit down with me and break down his perspective when it comes to breaking into the real estate game. Thanks again so much for watching this video. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.